Hello BookTube, this is going to be a rather meandering video without much structure. So the first thing I want to discuss is I have a new shelf right there. I got it from my brother. He and his family bought a new shelf. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I haven't been over to his house in more than a month. Obviously there's the shelter-in-place order, and even if it has mostly been lifted or kind of sort of has been lifted, we're still going to be playing it safe. So we haven't seen my nieces and nephews over here, and we've mostly been doing video calls. Although, like, we'll exchange some things like food or stuff, and it's just a quick, handoff. But anywho, so they they replaced the shelf, and rather than putting out in the trash, they just regifted it to me because I honestly always need more bookshelves. For the moment, I'm pretty good, but I do want to. So the closet door on this side, there's a little space. The wall juts out a little bit, and it makes a little space that I do want to go ahead and fill it with a bookcase. So that way, because it bugs me, and I just want to go ahead and be done with it. And eventually I would kind of like to clear out everything from that closet and just put a bookcase in front of it. Closet's more trouble than it's worth, honestly. But anyway, so I got the bookcase in tomorrow. Got it in yesterday, not tomorrow, yesterday. Moved the bookcase that was there over a little bit, and then just put all of the books from there onto here. And then there's enough space that I could actually start taking some books from the second side of the double-sided shelf unit I got from Walmart that I'm using as a bookcase, which allowed me to clear off so I basically have a free bookcase, this one right here, and a wall shelf, and also allowed me to clear off an entire shelf on this bookcase my brother made, which is a good thing because it's in need of some repair, and it's the second time it's needed it. So when my brother made the bookcase, there's like a block kind of holding it up, sort of like this, and then it gradually kind of loosened or something, so it kind of like tilted, and the tilting with obviously a lot of books on it warped the shelf board, and my brother fixed the first problem, the top shelf, with two brackets. I think that's what they're called, and I don't know if he actually did anything to the original, whatever that is. But lately, the middle shelf has been experiencing the same problem of sort of a tilting and subsequent warping of the shelf board. So hopefully I can fix it when I get some screws in, and the weight of the books will be able to straighten out the shelf board. Although, talking to my mother and even my brother, they're like, I probably should just go ahead and get rid of it. And I'm like, you're probably right, but I am kind of fond of it because my brother made it, and I rather do like it, and I don't like getting rid of stuff if I can avoid it. So so we'll see eventually. Okay, so moving on from shelving, which I would eventually love to, except for like this wall here where I'm filming at, and the one that's the length of my bed. I would pretty much like as much of this room covered in bookcases as I can get. eventually. So now Thursdays is moving on. Thursdays is normally my writing update day, and I don't really have much to report. I'm taking a break and trying to readjust, determine what I want to do. I'm leaning more towards probably single novels rather than like long series, because they're like, thinking about it. I mean, I have like 8 projects I really would like to do, and if I do a series which would take several years to write, I wouldn't be able to do as many of the series as I would like, or projects I would like. Although, I mean, you could theoretically combine some of them. But, yeah. I mean, I've done some more work on Scorpius, and I need to really formulate how I want to do the research for that. And I need to do some research, I think, for Akarsha the Sorcerer, and look at some other projects too. And I'll keep you updated sporadically when I have something really interesting to report. I am moving on. I am thinking of doing. I don't know if I could do it as a tag, because I know, like, my first tag, the Star Trek tag, not many people did, which was kind of disappointing. Even though, honestly, the questions I thought were really interesting. Just, I guess, yeah. But so I was thinking of doing another tag, or two. One of which it would be a fairly conventional booktube tag. I'm pretty sure there's something similar has gone around before. But I'm also leaning towards a tag where basically the booktuber will, say me, for example, will give a list of like 10 books that they want to find, but they can't really know the, like, the title, the author, anything like that. It's like some bits of knowledge is known, but not a whole lot. So, say for example, use me for example. There is a children's book that, excuse me, I've been looking for years. So when in 2014 or 2015, I was reading the New York Times book review. I'll sometimes read the children's, or before you basically could only read one article a month on the New York Times for free. I would like look at the book review, some like the children's book review, to see if there was anything interesting I might want to pick up for my niece at the time, or nieces, and now my nieces and nephews. And so there's one book that the Times reviewed that I thought was very interesting, and I looked on the local library to see if they had it. And I don't know if they did, but I know they had some other books by this author, and I checked it out. And I think I tried to read it to my niece. I think I did. Or I might have tried to get her to read it, and she didn't want to. But anyway, so I thought it was very interesting, and then I took it back, and it stuck with me, but not enough to where I can recall a whole lot about the book. So I know the art style is very similar to Lauren Childs, who wrote the Charlie and Lola series. Although I'm not because I want to say it was a bit collagey. I know the book is about an older sister taking her younger brother, or walking her younger brother to his first day of kindergarten. And on the way, the landscape of the city transforms into various fantasy landscapes or cityscapes, and the brother and sister have some brief adventures before they finally get to school. And I want to say the author's name begins like her last name, begins like with an R to a Z, like the last chunk of letters in the alphabet. I want to say I've always thought it was like a V or a Z, but I could be wrong. And I want to, not entirely sure, but I think her first name might be Sybil or Sibylline, or Sylvia, but I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so I've been trying to remember this book or try to find it, and I've never had much success. And so I was thinking of, I think I wrote the library about it, and now I wrote them about a different book. So another example, there's an anthology of plays from the 1970s, like popular plays or highly respected ones. I know two of the plays, Neil Simon's The Sunshine Boys, and excuse me, I'm blanking on the name, but it's like the gamma rays on Men in the Moon marigolds or something like that. And I know the library had it because I checked it out in 2017, and unfortunately I did not note the name of the anthology. I just noted the names of some of the plays I read, and I emailed them to ask them if they could give me any information, because yeah, it's not in their system, and they haven't gotten back to me yet. So yeah, so I was thinking of some kind of that, and then seeing about like a tag where the booktuber lays out the information they have, and then I guess in the comments or in another like response video to the tag, that booktuber will, like, if they have any information on it or if they don't, and then sort of what their like books they want to find but are having difficulty, and then on and on. So anyway, what do you think, BookTube? Do you think that would be an interesting tag, or just nah, too much work or something? What else is there? Oh yeah, so preview for my May book haul. It's going to be insane. It's going to be large, quite large. Now, that section here where my new books are before I haul them and, well, film the video and then log them into my computer, because I have a little document where I list all of the books I have, and then put them in where they, where they belong, roughly. Because my library is, how I have it is like a science fiction section that is pretty self-contained and separated. This bookcase and that bookcase are part of the science fiction and fantasy section. And then I have like a history section here that eventually I want to move over into this area here. And then I have my every other kind of fiction over on the headboard bookcase and onto the right hand wall shelf. So yeah, but until I film the video of the haul, I have the new books right here. I normally do this generally because the because my science fiction and fantasy books are organized alphabetically, and I like it alphabetically. So when it comes time to putting new books on the shelves, it's an operation. It is pretty much I have to move a significant portion of the library to insert the new books. So, yeah. So, like, doing it once a month makes sense. And even if I don't add any new science fiction or fantasy to the collection, I still like doing it just once a month. So, anyway. I think that's about it for today. So let me know what you think about my tag idea and anything you would recommend, any changes, and I'll see if it might be something I'll do on Monday. But until then, I will see you tomorrow with a weekly reads. So until then, BookTube, thank you, have a great day, and stay safe.